Hi, welcome to the Gen X Glam and Gab channel here on YouTube. It is great to see everyone. Whether you're new, whether you're coming back, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a minute. I bet that you thought that I have just disappeared into the tube when that is not the case at all. Although, if you are tracking my channel, you know that the last video I made, I was on my way to London. And so I have literally been on the tube. It's just the London tube, like their version of the subway. And what are one of the things I said I was gonna, here they are. They're the invaders. I said all morning, for those of you who are new to the channel, invaders are the people who try to come into my glam space when I'm on break. When I have notified everyone I am going on break. This working mom deserves a break. So if you hear vacuuming, specifically vacuuming outside of my glam room, those are the invaders who have been asked not to come near my space, but hey, who listens to mom? Anyway, yes, I was on the London Tube recently, riding it all around the city, visiting good friends, but I had an agenda. I had one agenda point, and it became a contentious point? No. It was my agenda point to make it to this appointment I scheduled at the Covent Gardens, which is like this super chic neighborhood in London, has all these chic shops, and it has like the flagship store for our friend Charlotte Tilbury. Scheduled myself a 2:00 appointment, right? And yeah, and that was it. That was the only thing on my agenda. That was the only thing I specifically asked for. Although I did want to see the outside of Buckingham Palace, and I did see that. So we travel. We get up very early flight because it was a quick trip. It was literally like a Saturday and Sunday. We had like 36 hours, door to door trip. We get there. We get off the plane. We go to get on the train to take us into the city, and there has been a windstorm. Trees are down. And basically there were no trains going into the city. So then we find ourselves in this mass of people all scrambling to get on, wait for it, buses. I don't mind buses. I have taken bus rides like as a kid, on field trips, like to go, in the Midwest, for example. The big deal for us being kids in Michigan was we were in 8th grade. I think it was 8th grade. We took a bus to Chicago and we got to go to like the Science Museum, which was everybody lived for it. So I don't mind buses. I've been on buses, long bus rides, used them, have no problem taking buses. A lot of people don't like buses. So there are a lot of unhappy people in these lines. People like us that were like, how do we even buy a bus ticket? But these days there's QR codes, there's kiosks, there's people with their little, mobile charger machines running around. We figure out which bus will, like the bus that's got the smallest line, right? Going somewhat in the direction that we need to go in, not the ideal direction that we had planned to go in. I'm just going to start in with my skincare because this is one of those Gen X glam and gab, emphasis on the gab videos, but there's so much glam to talk about and so much glam to show and tell, specifically from Charlotte Tilbury. So we find a bus line, we get on the bus, we're kind of like, oh, this isn't ideal. And, I'm thinking, okay, how am I ever, like the train ride was supposed to be 40 minutes and the bus ride was projected to be an hour and 50 minutes. Okay. So as you can imagine, we're already starting to like freak out about, hitting certain points of our agenda on a very limited time schedule as it is, going into the city, spending time with our friends, doing everything we want to do. So it's determined that I either need to give up on my my dream of going to like the mothership, the flagship store of Charlotte Tilbury and having my 50 minutes with a real Charlotte Tilbury makeup artist, Mua, or we need to get off the bus. Me and the hubby need to get off the bus at different places. And so because we didn't have bags, but we did have a decent size personal bag. We each took like a knapsack size because we really only needed 24 hours. But where we were going later after the Charlotte Tilbury appointment, we couldn't bring like any size bag. We went up on this huge, it was called the Shard. And just imagine it's like one of London's equivalents to like the Empire State Building or the Rainbow Room or any place that you go in a city, and it gives you that like super high outlook over the city. So the husband's like, you can't bring your bag, so you either need to bail on Charlotte Tilbury or give me your bag. I'll get off the bus. I'll deposit the bags. I'll hook up with the friends. And good luck. Find your bus. Get off the bus on your own and find your way to Charlotte Tilbury's playland. So that's what I did. I was like, okay, you get off at your stop. I'll get off at my stop. There's a thing called Uber. I didn't need to jump right into the London Tube by myself right away. So we split off. I got off where I needed to get off. I called an Uber. I Ubered over to Covent Gardens. Again, such a chicy part of town. Like, you just know you're in the super chicy part of town. You can tell when you're in a super chicy part of town. I was in a super chicy part of town right next to Charlotte Tilbury. Was, wait for it, Guerlain Paris. You know, another one of my favorite, going in with my lip mask. This is new from Charlotte Tilbury. I bought this at the shop. We'll talk about my purchases later, but I mean, you haven't seen this before. It's kind of a new drop. It is a life-changing lip mask, and I tried it for the first time at the MUA session there down at Charlotte Tilbury. What can I tell you about it? There's no scent, there's no taste. It's the neutral. It comes in 2 shades. I just got the most neutral shade. It doesn't have any sort of tint, but it does feel really, really, really nice. I like it. It's not goopy. It's not sticky. It's a really nice lip mask, and it's like, it comes in like balm form. So there's nothing whippy about this product. It is a straight up balm. So anyway, I find my way to Charlotte Tilbury. It is a shop on top. And, you know, it's glam all day, all night down below. So I went right down, and the shop was full on top. I mean, we are like elbow to elbow. I'm like, ooh, I'm so glad that I have my personal makeup session. And when it's over, I was committed to buying 70 pounds worth of product, which is approximately $93 US. Okay, so keep that in mind. I had to buy 70. I got a full face Charlotte Tilbury done by a real bona fide Charlotte Tilbury makeup artist, but I did have a minimum spend that had to happen at the end of it. So I get down, I go down, I check in, I'm immediately offered a glass of Prosecco. I was like, Prosecco? Heck yeah, that's a big heck yeah, I'll take the Prosecco. I had like a little, like 10 minutes time to kill before my makeup artist was ready. She was probably finishing up with someone else. So I explored this downstairs like boudoir. I mean, I'm saying boudoir because I think in French boudoir is a bedroom. So it wasn't really a bedroom. This was like a VIP. I would call it a VIP salon. Okay, there was the room where all the makeup chairs were, which is where I was waiting to go in, but I was allowed to go in and look around. That is where I was able to actually touch and feel the 2025 advent calendar, open up all the drawers, touch the chest. It was very exciting to do that. Just all around down here, like on every little carve out shelf were products, like and especially the gift sets that Charlotte has. Look at my elixir serum's almost gone. My 30 mil. I learned my lesson getting ready for work just yesterday doing one of these numbers. I got some on my dress that I was wearing, but my dress was black and it didn't actually stain. But this is a milky white. If you haven't used this before, this is Charlotte's like elixir serum. It's very milky. I'm into milky serums. I have repurchased this. I'm not going to repurchase this anytime soon because I have a small one that came in last year's advent calendar that has not hit the air yet, so its shelf life is still good. I have a lot of other milky serums. I like the Fenty Fat Boy. I like the Tier Milky Serum. I've got my Guerlain serums and my Shiseido serum, so I'm not going to repurchase this one anytime soon, but it is a really nice serum, and it was used like when the makeup artist obviously started with skincare, as we all do, and she did use this one. So I'm wandering around, I'm checking out, okay, this is the room where I'm going to get my makeup done. I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. The bathroom was amazing. Like, it was like this, I want to say psychedelic light lit room, like hallway. All these like lights, they weren't strobe lights, but it was just this really lit, vibrant, happy vibe hallway that you went down. Very nice restrooms. Around the corner from the restrooms was another space where you could get ready. So there were all of these like vanity chairs and mirrors set up. And I guess you could book out that room. So people book out that room to do like hen parties. That's the UK's version of a bachelorette outing. So people, and birthdays and all that stuff. Like if I lived in London and I had the money and I had friends, I would say, hey, let's book this out. Let's do it. Let's treat ourselves, either be it Mother's Day or maybe, you know, everybody's birthday combined. Nobody buy a birthday present for each other this year. Let's just all book this room and have a good time. Anyway, it was one of those kind of rooms, a good time room. Finally, it's my turn. Finally, it was like I waited 10 minutes. And it was fun to explore because it was great to see all of these products. All of the bundles you're seeing, if you're checking out Charlotte Tilbury's app or her website, of like the holiday bundles, there's a lot of great like 3 lipsticks bundles. There's just skincare bundles. There's all kinds of great bundles. The new brush bundle set, which I think finally arrived in the mail. And there was stuff that I was waiting, that I had purchased, and it just takes a really long time for me to get my mail now, being here in Sweden, because I have to use like a mail forwarding service. So when I order it, everything has to be like forwarded through like a third party, if that makes sense. Anyway, that's another story. But so I'm looking at all this stuff that I'm like, it's coming in the mail. And I know I have to do this minimum spend. And I know I have just bought stuff online that I'm just waiting to come in the mail. And I'm just like pulling myself back from not like buying it just to buy it. So I'll tell you what I got with the minimum spend. This was one of them. I keep pushing. This is like a cushion. Like the texture of this is just so cool. Anyway, so the new brush bundles are around, all these great bundles. I had no problem occupying my time. I get in my chair, we make introductions, me and my mua, very nice gal. Like we made small talk, where are you from? You know, she's like, you're a tourist, what are you doing here? I told her. And she just immediately started getting going with all of what you've seen me do so far. The lip mask, I asked for the lip mask. The Wonder Glow toner, the elixir serum, and she pulled this out, the Invisible UV Flawless Primer. If you've tracked my channel, you know I use this. Like this is my go-to for the summer. It has a tint to it. It kind of looks like, it's not showing, my lighting's really bad, my amateur rig. It's more of like a peach. It's a peachy peach. It's not like a tan. But I was happy that she put that on, because by the time I did make that it was a 2 o'clock appointment. I made it, like as you see, I made it early. I had time to kill. Not that much time to spare, to tell you the truth, but I knew that I was going to be going back out and there would still be sun, so I was like, great, use that. I was familiar with that product. Now, I think I've pulled down the video. It was one of the very first videos that I did, and I think it was actually one of the first videos I did that I got over 100 views, but it was like going with my friend to get her makeup done in Sephora. And the bottom line of that video is that if you go get your makeup done at Sephora, your makeup artist has the keys to the kingdom. They can use a Dior foundation. They can use a Charlotte Tilbury lip liner. They can run over and get a Fenty gloss. They just have access to, you know, any product they want in the Sephora store. Granted, they're buying samples, or not using the samples, right? So they're going and they're taking the samples, and everything still needs to stay hygienic, as I've always talked about. Otherwise, you're sort of going to get breakouts. Which I want to also talk about, but I'll talk about that later. So anyway, so in Charlotte Tilbury, having the keys to the kingdom is access to every single product the brand has, right? But because I have such an I'm not like bragging. Like if you're tracking my channel, you know I'm a bit of a freak. I'm a super fan. I'm a fanatic for Charlotte Tilbury stuff. Have a nice collection. I already had in mind exactly what I wanted. Like I didn't interrupt on anything with the skincare because that's pretty like standard. I just asked, I said, hey, I have this, I have not tried this, and it wasn't something that was coming in the mail. And I was like, and I picked it up and I got to finally touch this, not just see it online and touch it. Such a nice little cushion. I, wanted to use that. But so when she starts getting into like, okay, what do you want to do with the base? I said, I want to try the new Charlotte Tilbury Flawless foundation. Like she's always had like a flawless filter foundation, not to be confused with her Hollywood flawless filter sort of like product that's between a foundation and a concealer corrector. This is her flawless foundation, like 2.0. And, online, it's like, it sounds great on paper. She tried it on me. We did a shade match. I wasn't really super happy with it. So I went there thinking, oh, I'm going to buy this. But I'm still like pretty much set on the Beautiful Skin foundation when it comes to Charlotte Tilbury foundation. And really, I'm not really buying a lot of foundation anymore. I'm either using tints or I will use this because it does really feel skin-like. Beautiful Skin was a very accurate description. There was no like bait and switch on this one. I have that out because I used it yesterday. So let's just let this skincare marinate, although we need to put on some. This would not be a Charlotte Tilbury video without some magic cream, which also the MUA used. I'm using, the reason I'm dipping in with this, and I normally just use my fingers, is because I need a refill. But I'm waiting, I've said this before, I'm waiting for the like Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals. I'm hoping that I can get like a good percentage off, or maybe a 2-for-1, which I've gotten in the past, because this stuff just doesn't go on sale. So there's that. So let's get the magic cream down and then I want to do some show and tell. I'll show you what I purchased. We're gonna open up some Charlotte Tilbury that I've been waiting forever to come in the mail, and we're gonna look at what I got. Wait for it. For my Charlotte Tilbury birthday present, because if we take 364 days, if every day represented a step and we took 364 steps back, we would be at the eve of my 51st birthday. For those of you who were hanging out with me last year in October 2024, you know it was October Palooza. I was doing multiple giveaways a week. I was just so stoked that it was my birthday and we were partying and celebrating every day. We had a question of the day, all this good stuff. So now here we are. We're on the eve of my 52nd birthday. And I've got like, I like to have like little mantras to enter the year with. And it's not just for me. Like if you're a good friend of mine or a close family member, you get like either a birthday poem or you get like a mantra to go into your year with. And so this year I called my mantra. I'm going with 52 and still in hue, because we learned in beauty school that hue is color. Like in the speaks of our space that we love to watch, hue is color. Makeup and glam, it's all about color and finding your match, right? That makes you feel good, that diminish, the colors that, aren't going to get you to perfection, but are going to help you diminish your imperfections. So I figure 52 and still in hue. It's like, and then there was that show back in the day, Gen Xers will remember, in Living Color. I think it's important. And like, I think people take living in color literally for granted. Like there have been a few times in my 52 years where I've been like feeling a little bit low. Okay. I'm not going to lie. We've all been there. And in those times, like sometimes, and I was in the first time that I really felt like I wasn't living in color anymore, I was like pretty young. I was like in my mid 20s, and I was like, man, I woke up every day and I was just bummed. And I felt like I was only seeing the world in black and white. Like I stopped seeing the color. And at the time I was living in Geneva, Switzerland, which is a beautiful country. Like every morning I woke up and I walked to work, and a walk to work in the valleys of Geneva is literally like walking through a postcard. Like I'm not even kidding. It's just like the mountains, the sky, like the everything. And so, but then I was like, why am I not seeing in color anymore? Like I was bummed. I'm telling you, this was a bum part of my 52 years. And then, it took some time. And then I started seeing in color again. So I think 52 and still in hue is significant to me, because I'm still waking up and I'm still seeing things in color. Color brings, it can bring out emotions in us of like positivity. So anyway, so 52 still in hue. We are on the eve of the birthday, and I got a Charlotte Tilbury birthday gift. I was paying attention this year. Last year, I kind of let the Charlotte Tilbury one slip because I didn't have my birthday in my profile. And like, I didn't have it. Like I had my Charlotte Tilbury set up. I had it set up. I just had not put my birthday in. And so when I went to be like, hey, customer service, Charlotte Tilbury, what are you giving me for my birthday? I'm supposed to get a birthday gift. They're like, you need to have that in your profile. And so this year I was on top of it. They sent me an email. They're like, your birthday's coming up. Make a purchase on the website and you're going to get a palette. So I had to make a purchase. And what I decided to do, rather than get product. You know, I'm a big, super huge fan of tools. I repurchased my Hollywood complexion brush, my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood complexion brush, because I love this brush, and it's cleaned up so well over the years. I probably should have got this thing out before I started the video, because now my hands are all slimy from the, there it is. This is it, and it's in the rose gold family. It's like, this is her rose gold edition. She has some brushes that are like white, and then some that are in the rose gold. I love this brush. So here it is, my brand new one. My other one's actually sitting to be cleaned, and that was used at my makeup artist session. Also, I got my free samples. What do I have here? Some elixir serum and magic cream. And then this is the birthday palette. This is Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk Beauty Universe Lovers Palette. Now, I didn't get to pick the colors on this thing, okay? I'm just saying. So I will show you the colors. They are a little bit dark for me, but they are absolutely beautiful. And this was my birthday gift. It came super packaged. Like, look at this packaging. And then this was still inside of another box. So that's what sorry about that. I should have warned you. I was going to warn you. It was in my like mental notes to tell people like, oh, I might be dropping stuff on this video, because I normally drop stuff, but I really might be dropping stuff. We're still letting the skincare marinate, by the way. I can tell you a little bit more about the makeup artist, because that leads into opening up. This box has been missing forever. I have been waiting and waiting and waiting, and I had regret when I went to Charlotte Tilbury and sat and was looking all around at these things that were like in this box, and I was like, they could have been my minimum purchase. So let's dig in. It's a heavy box because, and I think I already, like, spoiler alert, I think I already told people that I bought, yes, I love brushes, and I love, where's my, here, I've bought this a couple years ago. This is a mini brush set. Brushes are out because I'm using it. Love that. I always say that's like my flappers pouch. Look at this. So this was in the store. I was like, no, it's coming in the mail. It is so lovely and beautiful. And what we have in it are mini brushes and another mini Hollywood complexion. No, I'm sorry, it's not Hollywood. It's just the foundation complexion brush, but it's in the mini. It's also in the rose gold. Another like really nice, like, look at that fluff. That is going to be so great for some powder bronzer. Look at that. Look at this little fluffy eyeshadow brush. I mean, come on. Look at it, like a little, I got a mirror. This is, and then like a little smudger. So I have been dying for this thing to show up. It's here. I'm happy. I have to clean a bunch of brushes on my birthday weekend. Let that slide. Gotta catch up. Oh my God, it feels so, I don't want to put it against my face and get it. Oh, it's the texture on this thing. It's plush. It's plush. It's Luxe. It's Charlotte Tilbury Luxe. All right, what else did I get in here? Oh, this was a free gift because I did a spend. This is a lip blur, which is great because I have a lip blur pulled out, but what is the shade? So this is a Pillow Talk lip blur, which is in my work bag. This is a rose lip blur, but I was going to use this when I did my lips because I've been doing that. I wanted to talk about it in this video, and oh my gosh, this video is so long. Already, I wanted to talk about because you're not getting ready with me anymore like we were doing in Canada on a very regular basis, and I have come up with a mnemonic device that pretty much sums up. A mnemonic device is like a memory jogger of some sort, you know. Acronyms are technically mnemonic devices. I have come up with my own, and it's called Swab Lips. It's a mnemonic device that pretty much breaks down the daily routine that I have been doing when I get ready every day. And that just reminded me of that I've been using my blur. We have some here. It's the stick foundation, which wasn't a hit for me, but it's just a sample. I had to pick something. This Exaggerize mini mascara, it was a sample. I had to pick something. And this is like a tiny, probably not even 5 milliliters. It's 7 milliliters, and it's a little magic cream. I mean, I don't think that this little guy is going to replace that. I'm thinking I need to, but I have a 35 mil that I'm going to get into because I'm not going to stop. Like I talked about the elixir serum. Yeah, I have a lot of choices in skincare prep in terms of moisturizing lotions and all the brands that I previously said when I was listing off my serums. But magic cream is, because it's such a good makeup based prep excuse me, product in addition to a moisturizer that I will always repurchase it. This is it. This is it. This was newly dropped by Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Instant Look in a palette. It has 7 pans. It comes in 2 shades. Like, I kind of got the lighter shade, and this was there. So this is where I needed to get to this thing because I asked the makeup. Oh, here's a sample, another sample. I asked them. Oh my gosh, it's cushiony. It's cushiony. Oh, look at that. I asked the makeup. Look at that. So it's a face palette. It's a full face palette. So anytime you can figure, like, you can get something like this that gets all of your steps. Like, the whole point of the swab lips is it's the quick face routine, right? And it's just all of the steps just as quickly as you can get done. And this is it. It's all in one palette. So you have 3 eye products on top. Face, this is a setting powder, the light pink one. And if you bought, oh, I don't have it out, the big heart, oh, I thought I could reach it. The big heart setting powder palette from Charlotte Tilbury. I think that's the same formula. You've got some cheek. This is a highlighter down here. This is more of a matte, just powder blush. And then, of course, you have your powder bronzer. Everything you need in here, but it's not cream, it's powder. And makeup artist, when I went to beauty school last November, it's so nice. It's so nice. It's not cheap, but I bought it. This was my birthday present to myself that I had to buy. And the makeup artist at the Charlotte Tilbury shop used it. When I went to beauty school, my teacher was all about the powders. She's like, powders last longer than creams. She barely got into any creams unless she was doing of course, the color correction and creating a base with a foundation. So let's get into it. So what in the heck does swab lips mean? It's skincare. The W is for war paint. And I have to give this credit to the husband because every morning I'm coming out to make my coffee as my war paint sits. So let's just get into the war paint. But you've seen me do this before. This is my NARS Shade Vanilla color corrector. Okay, I put it usually in all of these different places, right? I get my war paint down, carry my redness like right in here. And a lot of times this is all that I need, like, right? Like, I just need the color correcting. I don't go in for a full base every day, very often. So we're creating the war paint, and you can put your war paint wherever you want to put your war paint, right? This is just where I'm putting some of mine. The war paint is not done yet because my war paint also consists of some sort of bronzer, right? And so I've been really using my Merit stick a lot lately. It's not as, I don't want to say it's not as pigmented as, say, my Too Faced sticks. I have chocolate mousse and chocolate souffle in here, and they do smell like chocolate. I feel like these aren't more pigmented. They're just a darker shade of brown. So I've been using my Merit, right? Because I have to get ready so much faster. This is more war paint, right? I have to get ready so much faster here than I did in Canada because my commute takes so much longer. I've already talked about that before. So anyway, I'm just slapping it on. It doesn't have to be precision. It's not war paint for the day. And then every once in a while, not all the time, again, I don't know why I'm picking on Merit, but I have been, I guess because it's just easy to grab, I've been putting on, the blush as well. A little bit here, because it's all gonna blend out, right? So here we go. There's the war paint. What do you think the first B in the swab lips is? Of course, it's blend, right? It's the B. So we've got skincare, war paint. This is the first blend, right? And a lot of times this is all I need. But if I'm going in to do a little bit of a base, that's the next B, SWABB. It's like blend, base, and then another blend. And if I'm going in with a base on top of all of this war paint, like after I blend out my war paint and I feel like I still need like somewhat of a base, like I'm not comfortable with the coverage, then I either go in with my Lumi Glotion, which was just here. I've been using this a lot. My L'Oreal Lumi Glotion, such a nice base, and I use it in the 903, so it really does have some color to it. Or I go in with one of my more fuller coverage concealers. So I've got my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin. The Kosas concealer, I feel like gives really great coverage. And then you've got, this is like Too Faced, like, what do you call it? Born This Way. Man, that Too Faced Born This Way concealer is really kind of, it gives you good coverage. Or if, like yesterday I said, yesterday I wanted like to have like a look that was gonna try to last into the day. I actually did use some foundation. So we've got our skincare, our war paint, blend it out, and then the A is assess. SWAS. It's skincare, war paint, A, assess. What are you like? Are you going to go in with, are you going to blend out that war paint and then decide if you still need a base? And if you do, then you're blending it again. So you're like, you're staying with me here. Skincare, war paint, assess, blend, base. We're not going to do that. Blend. So, and that's why it's swab. And then we get to go into the L, which is actually for lips, right? So then I go in, this is like my daily, right? So then I go in and I've been having so much fun with all of my lip liners lately, okay? I've just been like, and these are mostly Charlotte Tilbury lip liners, and just carving out, like, look at the blend. Like, I don't really need, like, I feel like that's good enough base. Like, all of that war paint blended in, and I feel like I've got coverage. I feel like I have a little bit of a glow. I feel like, I don't know, I feel really smoothed out. So I'm just going to focus on my lips, like back in the day, like in the 50s. Like, women didn't wear a ton of makeup, but they always had a really nice lip. So I'm going in with the lip liner. I've been using multiple colors. Like, this was Iconic Nude. Charlotte has this great product that's like a double end. I've been also mixing in some of my Makeup Forever, Barely Caffeine, because I've said this before, and we know if you're coating your lips with a good lip liner, like high quality lip liner, that's going to give you like long staying pigment, and then you're going over it with like a gloss or a lipstick. When that gloss or lipstick transfer, you're still going to have a little bit of color underneath, which makes touch-ups through the day so much easier. And that is such a nice shade. But I don't stop there. Then I either go on top of it with, and when I was at the MUA, I asked her to use Walk of No Shame. That was the lip liner that I wanted her to use, because I only have Walk of No Shame lip liner shade, a lip cheat, and like a small one, and it's almost gone. I asked her to use like the nude, the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk nude on my lip, and then I asked her to go over it with the Collagen Bath lip Pillow Talk lip gloss. But when I'm getting ready for work, when I'm doing my swab lips, getting ready for work, sometimes I go in with this Blur product. This is in the rose. This is the Pillow Talk one. I use the Pillow Talk one more than this blurring rose, but I think they use the word blur. I don't know how it's going to match with that lip liner. I probably, like, this would match so much better, this rose blur, with like the Walk of No Shame lip liner. It looks really good with the Pillow Talk shade. But that's, like I said, that's in a different bag. Let's just get over that. But I like that blur because it gives more of like a matte finish. Anyway, that's how I've been doing my lips. Like a lot of lip liner and then going over it with either that Collagen Bath or another lip gloss or just maybe just the lipstick. All right, so there's the L. And then I inspect. I'm like, okay, how's it going? How much time do I have left? And then I go into my powder and then spray, right? So you really, it's like it's always about that, like fighting the clock. Let's do, I mean, that Beauty Blender blended out very nicely, but let's just use my new brush here. I mean, we're smooth. Now we're going to go in with the palette. Man, she did such a nice eye look for me. She's like, so she used, obviously she used the lighter shade to make her base shadow. And then, or she used this one, she used number 2. And then she did number 3, the darker shade. She did it on the inside of my lid. And then she kind of blended it out. And then she talked me into letting her do a little shimmer. And then she used the face powder to set everything. She did do a little bit. She used the creamy, she did actually use a little creamy contour. She pulled out this bad boy and she smudged that on, which was fine. And then she went over it with a little bit of that. She asked me if I wanted highlighter. I was like, no. And then she asked me if I wanted blush, and I said yes, that I did. So let's use a little bit. So we did the inspection. Okay, we have time. We don't really have time. This is a 34-minute video. Come on, who are we kidding? Who are we kidding? I was gonna say mom in her basement. You know me. I'm raw. I'm uncut, and I'm not really a big fan of editing. So, oh my gosh, we're gonna dip into this palette. I can't believe I'm like looking over at my brushes. What should I dip in with? Let's go with this one. Because I didn't realize that this number 4, it does say face powder. I didn't get a good enough look at the palette to see that that's what it said, because when she finished my whole face, I was like, and she was getting ready to spray, I said, what about setting powder? And she's like, I've already put setting powder on. It was this one. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I asked her to use that palette, right? Like I kind of directed the whole thing. I said what kind of the foundation I wanted. I specifically said which lip liners I wanted, which lipstick I wanted, and I wanted the third step on the lips to be the Collagen Bath and the Pillow Talk shade. She did do my brows. She used the Charlotte Tilbury brow pen. I thought she did a great job actually accentuating my brows, giving them color, drawing them out a little bit, but they did not look fake. She went in with the Brow Fix, which I thought I pulled out. I have the Charlotte Tilbury Brow Fix, although it's almost gone. I don't know where it is. I've been using my NYX glue a lot for my brows lately, but so she did do my brows as well. Anyway, where were we? We were setting the face. Well, you know what I'm talking about. And then the last step is always to spray. If you remember to do a little setting spray, why not set it up? Let's just use the number 2. Gosh, this palette, I have been waiting for this thing, because it's going to be a game changer for me. Having all of these powders in one, like my glam is all over the place here in the new space. And I have to, like, you know how you lay your clothes out the night before, you know, work or school or whatever. I have to lay out my like products that I'm going to use, because when I wake up at 5:15, sometimes earlier in the morning, I'm like, stumbling around. What am I going to use today? If I don't laying them out the night before, it makes the whole swababa lips process go a lot faster. And now I've got this palette where I can do it all in one, which is fantastic. All right, let's take number 6. Let's check out the pigment on this blush. That's nice. I can see why teachers like, no, us makeup artists, we rely on powders. If you want it to last, you know, stick with the powders. So I think she's right. I learned a lot from teacher. I'm still not using mascara, for those of you who track my channel and tracking me forever. Let's try the number 5. Let's try a little bit of this powder bronzer. Yeah, like I'm still not using the mascara. And she's like, how about mascara? And I was like, no, I still have a lot of time I have to spend, you know, out in town with friends. And I'm always this terrible habit of touching my eyes, and I was going to smudge everything. And she did it. She did the eyeliner. She used this she used this as so this is not a gel. This is more of like a pencil eyeliner from Charlotte Tilbury. And she said that this kind of like pencil tip is a lot less smudgy than like a gel tip, just saying about eyeliner in general. But it did, like, I didn't like it at all. Like, I completely regretted consenting to letting her do any sort of mascara, because it's not like I smudged it, but it was like, I've always said this before, it's like, I'm using my L'Oreal makeup remover, Lancome, sorry. It's such a hard face wash. Like, I was washing my face literally for 2 days to get every little bit of mascara and eyeliner off my waterline. So it's just not worth it. I know it makes the eyes pop, but I'm 52 and I'm still in hue, okay? I don't need the mascara to prove that. So there we are. There's the look. What am I doing for my birthday? I want to go to H&M. I want to go to H&M and buy some clothes. Treat myself to some work clothes. One other thing before I go. So after the London weekend, then we went, the next weekend, we went on a cruise. It was like a 48-hour cruise, and it was to Helsinki from Sweden. And there was a duty-free there was a duty-free shop that had a bunch of beauty in it, and I held myself back because I had a lot of it already. But what was really kind of cool about the duty-free were the advent calendars that were out. So I got to look at like more advent calendars close up. Like they had the benefit one there. They just had a lot of beauty calendars. Out of all the stuff, all the times we went to duty free on the 2 days that we were on the boat, this is what I bought. This is what caught my eye. It's Korean. It's like, I think it's a K-beauty, because there's a lot of like, yeah, like there's English, but there's also like Asian characters on here written. But this is the Tony Moly Banana Lip Balm. I mean, I was just looking for things like I don't have, and I'm going to give it to my 2-year-old niece. There it is. Is 2-year-old, it smells like bananas and it tastes like bananas. Do you think 2 years old is too young to start with the glam? I think that's a cute little banana lip balm. And then look at this. This is hand lotion. Also smells like banana. I don't know. That's the question of the day. Can I give this to my niece? I mean, come on. And she's a girly girl, and so is her mom, so I think I can get away with it. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, thank you for hanging out with me. This was a long one. It was overdue, too. It was long and it was overdue. So if you, like, hung in all of this time, bless you. And if I can pop back in on my birthday and talk about anything that I forgot to talk about today, which, look, I'm getting some Ipsy. I got an Ipsy, my glam bag from Ipsy, and maybe I can pop on tomorrow and we can play more with this palette, because this thing is awesome. It is awesome. It encompasses everything about my swab lips. Like, the idea with the swab lips mnemonic device is to remind me these are the only steps you need. Get your skincare down, right? Inspect, assess, don't overdo it. Less is more. Lips are important. It gets its own letter in the mnemonic advice. Powder is important. And sometimes I forget the S. Sometimes I forget to spray. But if you remember to spray, give yourself a spray. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're well. Thank you so much for hanging out. Oh my gosh. No. We've already gone this long. You have to know what I bought. You have to know what the $70 spend was. It was this, the lip mask. And actually I spent $76. And I was just off the top of my head. I was like, okay, I want the lip mask. I want a full size Walk of No Shame lip cheat lip liner. So I got that. Here it is. God, I love this. I love this color. I think this is one of my favorite shades of her lip liner. And I got it in full size now. Not that. There was one other thing. Oh, I did a restock of this is the Brow Fix. Her brow glue, it's clear, and I do like it, and mine was getting crusty, and it was worth the respend. This does not pill, so you're not getting flakes on your lashes, and it's just a really nice formula. Came to $76. The lip mask, the Fix It Brow, and the full size Walk of No Shame lip cheat lip liner came to 76 pounds. I needed to spend 70. I would have spent more had I not already bought this in my little brush bundle, but I think she was happy. I think my Mua probably thought I was a little bit of a crazy person asking a ton of questions. I'm like, does Charlotte Tilbury ever come by? And apparently Charlotte does come. Like, they shoot some of their Instagram stuff there and like other social media. So yeah, walked the halls that Charlotte walks. Just another day at Charlotte Tilbury's office, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I know I've already said this several times. I hope you're well. I hope your family's well. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.